Okay, it's Tuesday, August 22nd. I'm just highlighting a trade I made on Tesla today. I bought some puts early in the session. I scaled out, set up an over's trade, and I just exited the trade. I bought the puts here after the gap up in the week opening on the first two bars. And then, at that point, you're still well above the midpoint of the prior day. And you don't know for sure if you're just going to get a strong red to green move. But what happened was then it kind of rallied up to the halfway point of that first bar, formed a big red bar. At that point, I figured you get another push down. Kind of, you had some pre-market lows here. If you look at the blue line to take out, you had kind of a move back to yesterday's close, just given this opening price action. So I bought some puts here. You can see I bought the 240 puts on Tesla at 809. I scaled out like I normally do at 9, and then once it had the final target area, I got out at 10. So it's a really nice trade on that. I just wanted to kind of point out that in terms of like the weekly chart, we actually have a 2-up week. On this little gap up, it just took out the weekly high. Now, it's possible that you can get a failure out of here and this overall, pullback downtrend. It's also possible that we just kind of hold in here and maybe this 2-up week with 3 days to go stays green and heads all the way up to our next target. So there's definitely a big picture, move back to the upside possible. If you look at the monthly chart, we have a 2-down month, but we're just filling in this fair value gap between the high of that bar and the low of that bar. So you can see the buying kind of starting to come in here during the month. And I don't know if we're going to come down and reach that low, that target. This is a big kind of a key area in the big picture. Do we hold in here and then the weekly chart turns back up, which it sort of did today. It triggered and maybe start a whole move back up, or is this going to kind of not really bounce from here and continue lower on the monthly chart? But in terms of the weekly chart, we do have a 2-up week, so we'll see kind of what unfolds here for the rest of the week. Could this be the start of that new, move back up here? It'll be clear, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday where this bar ends. But in terms of that, then you say, well, why do you go short? Well, you had typically when you get the first weekly trigger, that's kind of it. It had to work its way up during the week to get there. So there's a little exhaustion risk in the short run. And that's why, even on a weekly basis, even though you can be long up here, you would have got long right near the open and you'd be down a whole bunch, waiting for that weekly chart to come up. But anyway, in terms of a day trade, I saw an opportunity after kind of that big push up and a big gap up to kind of just pull back a little bit towards, you have the volatility in play. When you see those pre-market ranges, you can see where some targets are. And that's the reason I also exited the trade because, I know that I'm kind of playing a big reversal day, which is just, it's not like you're in line with the weekly trend now down all of a sudden. If anything, it's just a day where if it's gonna start weak, it's gonna pull back into yesterday's range, and then that's gonna be it. And maybe by the end of the day, this bar ends up green, or it ends up with kind of a hammer bar to the upside. So, the profitability here was just kind of to take the trade here short, kind of anticipate working down to those pre-market lows into the mid area of yesterday's range. That's all you could expect on a trade like this. But the key to it was the opening price action kind of led you, and also if you're looking at, there are a lot of other stocks were weak today, all the QQQ stocks. So that's, that also kind of guided you that there will be a little more of a pullback here in the open. But you could see here, this is just the morning trade. It was a good trade. I'm out. I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the day. You have a weekly chart that could be up. You have a daily chart that's still red at the moment. You have a monthly chart that's still red, but it reached its key area. So there's a lot of cross currents in play. But in terms of a day trade, just wanted to show you price action kind of led you to buy puts here. If you wanted to give it a shot, your stop would have been right above, the midpoint of the first bar, and your target was here at the blue line. So this was a nice trade on Tesla this morning. Just thought I'd highlight it.